The main tuning knob is for coarse tuning. Actually, this is explanation or the block diagram.
Odsúdený vo výkone trestu plnením svojich povinností a svojim správaním.
Test CQ test on 2 meters. I am Oscar Mike 0 Echo Tango.
Hello my dear friends, my name is Paul and I'm at the radio. Call sign is Oscar Mike 0 Echo Tango. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you a very special receiver, which is made in China, of course, which is provided from the Raddy DT company, and special thanks for them. So this radio is actually multi-band and multi-mode receiver for the desk. Is it not actually portable because it's not so lightweight and not so small, but it's great, it has beautiful sound. And the main big things is that it is a real multi-band radio because it receives from long waves up to UHF frequencies. And you can also use the Quansheng mobile antenna for the VHF and UHF for receive. So let me show you a little more about the features of this radio, and I really hope that you will enjoy this radio and this video. I found some pros and also some cons, so you can decide if you like this radio, is it worth to buy or not. So keep watching and let's go. This radio, Raddy RF919, comes in this nice cardboard box, and inside you can also find some accessories here in the secondary box, and also this very interesting and short diagram I will show you in a minute in a detail. And accessories, the printed manual, as you can see here, is written in English. The USB and USB-C charging and data cable. And also you can find a little brush and a little screwdriver for a battery. And this is the hand rope or cord for this radio. It's not a classic portable radio, as it is a little bit larger and heavier than a portable radios like Texun PL300 or something. Here you can see a comparison between the PL300 and this Raddy 919 receiver. So you can see the size, actually, it's really big. It's a really big difference. Well, let's start with the keyboard because I like especially this keyboard. As you can see that each key is separated and it's very easy to find the correct number. Also, each key is or has a deep grip, so it's really very easy to use it. Down there you can find the enter button or frequency button. So after you put the frequency number and push the enter button, you can go directly to this frequency. Down there you can find recording button, and by this button you will record the music or any other audio from this radio onto the micro SD card. The equalization is right here on the decimal button, so the presets on the equalizer can be used in every single modulation option. Also, we can see here the volume button, plus and minus. This is the only the only option how you can increase or decrease the volume by those two buttons. There is no analog knob on the radio. Up there you can see also the tuning buttons or the arrow buttons, and this is one of the three options how you can tune this radio. I believe that the second most important thing on the radio is the tuning knob. Here you can see two tuning knobs. The main tuning knob is for coarse tuning and the second tuning knob is for fine tuning. The second tuning knob is also a switch, and with this switch you can choose between different steps, and these steps are here for the main knob. So it's very easy and quick to change between the steps on the main tuning knob. As you can hear the clicks while tuning, that means that this is encoder inside and not optical tuning. Each click is one step in this case. The secondary tuning knob is also clicking inside. I feel the clicks, but I don't hear them, and you can't hear them, but I feel them, and that means there is also a secondary encoder inside the radio. And here around this tuning knob you can find these four hard buttons. This one is for scanning and also for automatic tuning scan. By pressing the ATS you can store the occupied frequency by AM stations and store it into the memory automatically. Here is the setting button, so long press of the setting button you can go to the system settings and play with them. Here is the preset list and delete of the presets. And under the secondary screen you can see these four buttons: the time and set button. Long press of the time and set button when the radio is turned off, you can set the clock in your radio. Alarm button, you can see times for alarm and set it. Also display button is for showing a temperature on the screen or showing a time on the screen. The sleep button or the power button is the main power button for this radio when you want to turn the radio on. Well, this radio has two separate screens. The screen on the left side is the main screen with the frequency readout when the radio is turned on. Also you can see the watch on the screen when the radio is turned off. Here on the second screen you can see normally the signal strength or S-meter, something like that. Also you can see the time or the watch on the screen. But the problem is that when the screen is not backlighted, then it's very barely see something on the screen, or almost nothing. And therefore the radio has to be turned on and the backlight has to be turned on here on this screen. The very good thing is that the radio has a backlight on both screens, and each backlight can be turned on separately. So you can use these two buttons, the time set and alarm. The time set or short press of the time set, you will see here a little icon that this screen is now backlighted permanently. And if you push shortly the alarm button, there is appear the second, it looks like a bulb icon. So you can see here two bulb icons, which means that this one and this one has a backlight for permanent time. Now you can see that on the direct sun is the visibility, or say a little worse than here on the LCD display. Much better is it when you're operating this radio indoors, or when it's an evening and sunshine is not so bright. You can see it on the screen here, and also a difference. Normally, if you turn off these backlights on both displays, there is a delay, I think 30 or 20 seconds until the radio will turn off the backlight. Also, you can use on the direct sun the LCD display without backlight, because it's very nicely visible on the direct sun, and at the same time you can turn on the backlight for the permanent time on this secondary screen. And actually now you can see both displays also during the daylight on the direct sun. And now is the best time to do my favorite thing on a new radios, and put down this protection foil. Amazing. And also here, oh yeah, I like it so much. And here you can see the 8 buttons located under the main screen. These are the main features of the radio. On the first button you can see the squelch and the play in the mode of the TF card or the player. You can play the files, and a long press of this button when you are in a radio mode will adjust the level of the squelch. Short press of this button in the radio mode will mute the audio. The radio band together with the sub band will work as the band selector. So if you choose the band between long waves, middle waves and short waves with this button, and then if you choose, for example, short waves, you can use the sub band button and select each band within the short waves, like I don't know, maybe 30, 40 or 20 meter band and so on. Then you can see the UHF and VHF band. So this is selection between frequencies higher than 20 megahertz up to 1000 megahertz. This is the range in the VHF and UHF. So here you can also tune the CB band in FM mode. This is only for FM. The short waves and the middle waves can be used also as AM modulations, but no FM. The FM can be used also here only in VHF and UHF ranges. The bandwidth and the demodulator you can see here. Short press on the bandwidth, you change the bandwidth filter, and long press will change the demodulation or the mode within a single sideband or upper sideband, lower sideband or AM modulation. Then we have here the selector. Here you can see the attenuator for -10 or -20 dB. And finally here the mode button, and here you can select between the radio mode, player mode or the Bluetooth mode. As I told before, that this radio is able to be remotely controlled by the mobile application. There is nothing special on the left side of this radio. You can see here the telescopic whip and the indication of the antenna, but nothing more here on the left side. Here on the right side you can see the socket for aux, so you can play any source with the cable with 3.5mm jack connected here and be played on the speaker of this radio. Here is the socket for the earphones, also 3.5mm jack. This is the socket or slot for the micro SD card, and here is the USB or micro USB-C charging port, and also it can be used as a USB data connection with a PC or computer. And here a little higher you can see the 3-position switch, which is the lock switch, and it has 3 options of the lock. And this knob about the switch for the lock is the tuning or the manual antenna tuning, and with this knob you can manually tune the antenna, internal antenna or external antenna, and increase the signal strength on receive. And here on top of this radio you can see the slot or the socket for an external loop antenna, which you can make by yourself from the guide you get with this radio. This is the switch between an external loop antenna you made and the loop antenna which is internal, which is the ferrite loop for long waves, middle waves and the lower portion of the short wave band. This is the socket for the walkie-talkie VHF, UHF antenna only. It's not working with the short waves or long waves bands, and is the SMA male socket connector here, and it's fully compatible with the Quansheng dual band VHF, UHF antenna, or you can also use the Baofeng antenna, which should be compatible as well. As you can see, that this radio looks pretty great with this external VHF, UHF antenna. And on the back side you can see a switch with 3 positions, middle waves, short wave 1 and short wave 2, and it's together with this manual tuner on the side of this radio. So if you switch to the middle waves and you tune the middle waves on the radio, you can manually tune the antenna for the better reception. If you switch to SV1, you can go to short waves up to 15 megahertz and tune these frequencies with this manual tuner. Shortwave 2 is up to 30 megahertz, and then you can manually tune with this manual tuner knob. On the back side you can see also the doors for the lithium batteries. As you can see, inside are 2 lithium batteries, 2.4 I think or 2.5 amp hour batteries. Together it's a 5000 milliamp hour batteries or capacity, and right there you can see the QR codes for downloading the application for remote control. You also get this screwdriver in the package, and with this screwdriver you can open these back doors of the battery, and we can look inside how they looks like. As you can see here, these are 18650 3.7 volts. so it's pretty compatible with many other same batteries you have maybe at home. Here is the socket for the external antenna. It's the 3.5 millimeter socket. I found that it is not compatible with my BNC to 3.5 millimeter jack adapter, because the hole inside is not big enough to get this adapter inside this radio, which is pity, and I need to find another way how I can do this. Maybe I will make a special adapter from the audio cable with 3.5 millimeter jack, and the other side I will solder the BNC female connector. And this is the super bass system, as they call it, and this should increase the bass frequencies in the audio spectrum for a better clarity of the signal. Here on top you can see also the whip antenna, which is I don't know, maybe almost 1 meter long, and it has a pretty good efficiency on the short waves on receive. It is very important to mention the detail about this support arm of this radio. It is made of very thick steel wire, and support parts are made of metallic, so which means that there is a long life of those parts. As you can see, the support is made of metallic parts right here, and also the lock of this arm is made of metallic material. As you can see it right here. So long-lasting support arm is installed in this radio, which is great. This included rope or cord can be fixed to these two handles on top of the radio, and you can actually carry the radio here on your shoulder. Well, and this is all regarding the features of this radio, and now it's time to turn the radio on finally and to listen how this radio sounds like, and if you like the features inside or not. As you can hear, the CQ code. Yes, this is the second con. What I don't like on this receiver is that the 1 kHz mutes are back on this radio. Actually, I don't like 1 kHz mutes, but the other stuff, it's excellent. Let me show you. Well, there is one important thing what you should make or do on the radio after your first turn on. The radio will turn on in the key pass mode, which means that the signal is coming from the antenna through the radio, through the frequency mixer directly. And I will tell you now what is the best thing what you can do. Go to this or long press of the set button right here, and here it appears antenna key pass. In this mode you have to switch with the button of the fine tuning up to the antenna channel channel E or something like that. Push the fine button and switch to the low pass filter or low noise amplifier. I recommend to choose the low pass filter LPF and push this button again on the fine tuning. After this modification has your radio the best sensitivity it can. And now you can tune the radio across the band and you will hear many stations as you can.
The report for you is 557, and my name is Boris. Bravo, Oscar, Romeo, India, Sugar. Boris, can you yourself? Yourself, Boris.
So in the box, as you have seen before, is included this card. Actually, this is explanation or the block diagram how this receiver actually works from the antenna to the speaker. And on the second card you can find the way how you can make by yourself the middle wave and the short wave and long wave loop antennas. On the third card you will find a short guide how you can actually use the manual antenna tuning in this radio. So here on the back you can see 3 positions: middle waves, short wave 1 and short wave 2, and this is explained here on the card that you have to switch this to your desired band, find some frequency you are interested in to listen, and then you have to tune this manual tuner until you see the best readability of a received signal. That is really interesting, and it really reminds me the magnetic loop antenna tuner. It works almost the same. Very interesting. Well, if you are not very professional in this case, you can skip this part of the video. This is more for professional users. Here on the diagram you can find how this receiver actually works, what is connected into the frequency mixer, and what is connected and operated by the main CPU of the radio. So the signal from the external telescopic whip antenna comes through the 3.5mm socket to the switch, to the antenna switch, which is internal circuit. And in this switch you can choose if you wish to use the external loop antenna, and there is also available manual tuning. So you need to change or to switch between a middle wave antenna, short wave and short wave 2. In case of middle wave it is between 520 and 1710 kilohertz frequency range. If you are listening between 5 megahertz and 15 megahertz, you need to switch to the second and third position is SV or SW2 within 13 megahertz and 30 megahertz frequency range. This you can manually tune and make a reception a little clearer, because it's like the preselector. So the signal from this switch comes to the second switch with full of the features. Here the first block is the shortwave antenna tuner selection. So if you switch on this feature, you will be able to manually tune the antenna. Here is the attenuation minus 10 dB and the attenuation minus 20 dB. High pass filter, which works from or up of 30 megahertz, and the low pass filter, which works below 30 megahertz. Then also you can use the low noise amplifier number 1 and also low noise amplifier number 2. This also you can turn on and turn off. There is also an option for a direct connection, so the signal from the antenna comes directly to the low noise amplifier 2 or directly to the frequency mixer. Then you can also mate by yourself these 3 loops, and each loop is for a different band. If you made a loop with 2.2 millihenry inductance, you can use it for a long waves. If you made a loop with 250 microhenry, you can use it for a middle waves. And if you wish to use the loop for short waves, which is between 2.4 megahertz up to 8 megahertz, you can make a loop with 7.5 microhenry. These loops are connected to this socket via the 3.5 millimeter jack, and this is connected to the frequency mixing or mixer. These antennas and this antenna can be used with the manual tuner. Also, there is an internal antenna, which is the ferrite internal antenna, and this is quite effective antenna, which I found. This antenna can be tuned on long waves and also on the middle waves, and also can be used with adaptive or manual tuning. This is connected also to the frequency mixing. This mixer is driven by this MCU, which is 32-bit. This is the 32-bit CPU or MCU. This is the master control, and this is controlling the local oscillator and the frequency mixer. The signal from the mixer is coming to the demodulator, and here you can choose if you wish to use AM, single sideband modulation, or FM modulation. Here you can also switch between the bandwidth, the frequency bandwidth, and you can also use the emphasis on the FM, or you can also choose between a stereo and mono reception on the FM broadcast band, and squelch feature. The squelch is mainly used for the FM and AM modulations, and also there is an equalizer. Audio equalizer is very handy in this radio, and you can do this equalization in all modulations. So SSB, AM and FM, there are just the presets, so you can't adjust the bass, middle or high frequencies manually. There are just the presets, and you can choose between the presets of the equalizer. The presets are different if you are listening AM, if you are listening SSB, or if you are listening FM. So the more features are explained right here. So here this is the power management, which means that this radio can be charged by an external source, which is via the USB-C cable. The charger is not included in the package, so you need to find or use any other 5-volt USB charger. Numeric keyboard connected to the master control. Also the Bluetooth module is included here in this radio, and this radio can be tuned or controlled remotely by the iOS and Android application. The iOS and Android application you can download and install very easily. You can also find on the back of the radio, if you see here on the back, there is a QR code. This on the left is for the Android, and on the right is for the iOS. So you can just scan this QR code with your camera on the smartphone, and you can download and install this control or remote control application. Alright, so the other features here is the display modules, which are two. The main module with the frequency readout, and the secondary display module is for signal strength meter. Also, there is a mode for audio recording. So everything what you are receiving on this radio, you can record on the micro SD card. When you turn this radio on, you will hear the CQ code, and when you turn this radio off, you will hear the QRT code in the Morse. Well, once you first time turn on your radio, it works with default settings. And there is my first recommendation what you can do and make this radio even better. There is a very interesting feature like low pass filter. The low pass filter is making a better reception on short waves, especially when you are living in a very noisy area, which means that it cut off the all signals which are above 30 megahertz. The FM broadcast stations as well. Let me show you how you can turn this feature on. So long press of the set button right here in the corner. The message antenna key pass will appear on the screen here in this green line. Then rotate this knob to the right side or clockwise until appears the end channel E or something like that. Then press this fine tuning knob and you will see the low pass filter. And again, press this fine tuning knob. Now is the low pass filter turned on in this receiver and you can tune across the short wave bands.
5 and 7, Roland, 5 and 7, and the post here is Doris, Delta, Oscar Radio, November, Oscar, Charlie Hotel. We're right on the shore front here, doing a portable activation. The operator is Julian, 5 and 7, your report, my friend, 57, QSL. Okay, QSL, thank you.
Okay, and now let me show you how the equalizer works in this radio. Here on the bottom of the keyboard you can find the EQ button, EQ decimal button. Short press of the EQ decimal button you will activate the equalizer, and multiple push of this button you will change the equalizer presets. So let me show you how these sounds.
Italy United, Free Oscar, Yankee.
Stop making 2 RM Italy.
What?
Okay, very good.
Kilo 8 Victor X-ray calling.
Lima Bravo 8. Unit QSL.
Good afternoon, my dear friend. Welcome to Czech here, friend. Order not far from Luxembourg. We have a boarding signal here, 5 and 9. The name is Hans, Hotel Alpha November Sierra. Hans is my name, and good here is Saarbrücken, direct by the French border. Call is Delta Kilo 8 Victor X-ray. Mike, back to you, my dear friend.
And now the bandwidth.
Mike, America, Charlie, flash warning. Denmark, Detroit 8. Uniform, Tango, Leon, Tokyo, over.
Not so much work, HI. Well, now the information about my equipment, my station is ICOM 7300 and the expert linear about 700 watt output.
And here with this antenna button you can set the input of the antenna. This is the internal loop antenna, which can be tuned with the knob on the side. This is an external loop which can be made and stick right there on top. And this is the antenna, the whip antenna, which is currently here. And the DX means that the sensitivity is much better because the preamplification. You can change this preamplification with this ATT button, and this is the local. So this is attenuation on, and this is attenuation off. So we can get better signals here. And this is again the internal ferrite antenna and manual tuning. And here you can see the secondary screen and the signal to noise ratio. This is two digits here, and the digits on the right side are RSSI, which is the value and the decibels, and higher value means a stronger signal. This is something like an S meter. So on the left side is the signal to noise ratio, which means that higher number, which means that a clearer signal on receive.
Papa 79, Sugar Victor Yankee. Delta Kilo 1. Tiki 1, Juliet Hotel, 5 down, okay? Thank you. Radio Papa 79, Sugar Victor Yankee. Radio Papa 79, Sugar Victor Yankee. Romeo Papa 79, Sugar Victor Yankee. Кто-то уже был. Зовут меня Сергеем на приеме.
VHF broadcast
Na rade sú
stations.
teraz odborníci z oblasti psychológie a psychiatrie, ktorí majú na vypracovanie nových posudkov približne 2 mesiace. Súd bude podľa Ministerstva spravodlivosti brať do úvahy viaceré roviny. Miriam Gašparíková z tlačového odboru. Súd môže odsúdeného podmienečne na slobodu, ak odsúdený vo výkone trestu plnením svojich povinností a svojim správaním preukázal polepšenie a môže sa od neho očakávať, že v budúcnosti povedie riadny život. Pri rozhodovaní o podmienečnom prepustení súd prihliadne aj na povahu spáchaného trestu.
And here we can see the selectivity on VHF or FM band.
Čo je Tomáš Strémy z právnickej fakulty univerzity.
Z verejnej informácie sa o resocializácii z vesnice je šanca taká veľká.
Na konci roka 2020 dnešnému dňu si 8 z nich podalo žiadosť o podmienečné prepustenie.
Yeah, I can say that the selectivity is very nice, and actually you can use 40 kilohertz filter on the wide FM. So this is the PMR frequency channel number 10, and let me check with the Quansheng transceiver.
CQ test, CQ test, CQ test on the PMR frequency, CQ test on the PMR frequency number 10, CQ test on Quansheng UVK5.
And this is 2 meter direct frequency 145.400 FM.
CQ test, CQ test on 2 meters. CQ test on 2 meters. I am Oscar Mike 0 Echo Tango. This is Oscar Mike 0 Echo Tango. CQ test on 2 meters and listening.
And this is 2 meter band and a local VHF repeater and a chat on the repeater.
Takáto technická činnosť dneska bola len vláda a držová IC. Ďakujem pekne, všetko zoletelo 500 eur, tak samozrejme, čo mali včera Floriana, tak sme znali, že všade horí od piatku, chválali, ale treba to slaviť samozrejme. Oni sú potrební, takže určite mali dobre slaviť. Pridia sa niekto ďalší do prvého kola, nech sa páči. Mám 0 AGP. Tu je spotátier, víte a poď. Tu som. Tak herdo na svoje poviem, že najlepšie na konec. Tak no.
And this is the SATCOM frequency.
Test, SATCOM test.
And as you can see that also 800 megahertz is possible to tune with this receiver. Amazing. I think this is the band for the GSM or 4G, and it is not possible to tune on the Quansheng radios, and you can do it with this receiver. And actually you can tune this radio across all the UHF frequencies up to 1000 megahertz. Yeah, so we are on 999 frequency, and this is the maximum frequency, as you can see. This is really wideband receiver. And what is very nice, that this receiver receives also an airband, and it has a better sensitivity than the Quansheng radio, because signals which I can hear on this receiver I can't hear on the Quansheng radio. This is interesting. As you can see that 8.3 kilohertz step is available also here in the air band, and the AM band and ATS feature. Now the radio is searching for AM stations, and it will automatically store these stations or frequencies into the memory. Now you can see how it storing the frequencies. In a while you can see the channel, like now, channel 12, 13, 14 channel, 15 channel. So once it find some busy frequency, it will automatically store this frequency into the memory. It has 2000 memory slots, but it is shared within the bands. So I think 200 memories in one band, I think. I'm not sure. And now a little or short comparison of the AM station, the same Chinese station captured on the Texun PL300 and this new Raddy 919. This is the Raddy receiver. And PL300, 330, sorry.
在技术高度发达的今天，为什么电磁炮的研发推进并不顺利呢？详细情况，请听总台记者郑州的报道。所谓电磁炮是一种利用电磁场发射炮弹的武器，它能够提供传导反应。
And Raddy.
跟武器相比，电磁炮炮弹尺寸小，难以被发现和拦截，成本也远低于制导导弹。正是基于以上技术特点，目前各国都在大力研发电磁。
And Texun.
电磁炮最强大的性能优势是具有超强的炮火初速，这就让以低成本拦截高穿透武器成为可能。那先进的电磁炮炮火初速都可以。
And Raddy.
1000到5000米，实际上已经是超高音速了嘛。它还可以很方便的调节炮口初速。但是我们知道，普通的155毫米榴弹炮，它的出膛速度。
And again Texun.
电磁炮的炮弹呢，它不跟炸药就是靠那个实心弹丸，但是因为它的速度快。
Okay, we can also play with the equalizer on AM.
普通的防空反导系统拦截。
This is normal setting. News.
电磁炮有诸多优点，且各国都在积极推进研发进程，但是为什么到现在迟迟不见实战落后？对此，尚永林解释说。炮耗费惊人，且需要庞大的功能组件。如何将功能组件小型化，是技术上亟待攻克的瓶颈。另外，电磁炮射程不够远，炮管如何做冷却等短板，需要那么大。所以我们听到这个数字就知道，它没有办法在芯片上部署了。这个里边可能瓶颈就是电源的小型化。做不到小型化，实际上电磁炮呢就很难进入到一个实际部署。
Okay, yes, this is not very fair comparison, because the both antennas are different on those radios. As you can see that the length of the PL330 is way shorter than the Raddy's receiver antenna. So of course comparison is not very fair, but I can say, or I wanted to show you the difference in the voice. Actually, the Texon 330 has a very nice voice, or the sound from the radio, but I'm 100% sure that the better voice is coming from the Raddy because of the larger, bigger speaker and the bass system in the back.
我认为，日本要在电磁炮研发上快速取得成果，需要解决的问题依然很多。
And this is the bandwidth 6 kilohertz. 1 kilohertz, 1.8, 2, 2.5, 3, 4 kilohertz, and 6 kilohertz. And on the Texon, this is 5 kilohertz. This is 3.5, 2.5, and that's all. So this is 5 kilohertz. And this is the middle waves and the Russian station in AM. And I have selected the internal loop antenna with the manual tuning available here on the right side.
О событиях войны. И, конечно, есть замечательный фильм, где не показано ни одного военного события, но этот фильм мы смотрим с вами каждый год, причем в течение года по несколько раз. Это «Белорусский вокзал», 1971 год. Ведь это фильм просто рассказ о встрече бывших однополчан. Но посмотрите, вот эта песня, которую исполняет Нина Ургант, посредством ее исполнения мы понимаем, что такое.
As you can see that the sound is clear, signal is clear when I tuned this tuner. Here is an example when you can find the manual tuning useful. I'm currently on the AM band, and currently I'm listening very weak signal, very weak broadcast station. I choose the antenna, internal loop antenna with manual tuning possibility. So now let me tune with the tuning knob, and you will see how I can increase reception on the middle waves. Manual tuning is a very nice feature, and it works pretty well here on this receiver. Once you are on the middle waves, and if you want to go to the norm with 10 kilohertz step, you have to select with sub-band button 520, this is 10 kilohertz step. And if you go to sub-band again and select 522, this is 9 kilohertz step. Well, I'm not able to catch any station today on the long wave, so I can't show you any station here on this band. Here on 80 meter you can hear the Russian buzzer signal, which is readable in all across the Europe. And the Russian station on 80 meter band. And you can tune also the free band frequency 27555, but it is an evening time here, and currently we have no propagations here on 11 meters.
Charlie 515, ESY 27560, ESY 27560, ESY.
Security access, 3 Alpha Tango separation, Alpha Sierra separation Tango. Release UHF 27750. Thank you.
On the back cover of the battery you can find the QR codes, and if you scan those QR codes you can download the application for remote control. This is for an iOS and also for Android. I have the Samsung with Android and it works pretty well here. So you can see the frequency 14650 and also here 14650, and of course I can tune, and you see that is really nice. So here on the software you can see many options. You can choose the band, VHF, UHF, meter, what is there, the music, memories, tuning up and down. You can increase, decrease the volume, antenna selection, and switch on, switch off the radio. You can mute and so on. Now is muted. And the frequency, you can see all those informations on the screen. That's a very nice thing. Of course, I should be able to play the music via the Bluetooth on this radio. And here you're looking at the YouTube video, my YouTube video, which I'm watching on my smartphone and listening on the radio.
This is actually for the first time.
As you can see, it is connected through the Bluetooth, and I use this radio as a Bluetooth speaker.
because finally we have a little better weather conditions.
Antenna now is beaming southwest.
That's pretty cool, right?
As you can see. Well, what do you think, guys, about this Raddy RF919 receiver? Do you like it or no? Let me know down in the comments. All the links you can find down in the video description. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, guys, and I hope to meet you again in my next one. So 73 and have fun.